Good morning, guys and girls. Hope everyone's doing well. It's Sunday morning and I'm going out for a ride. Just not an intense ride, but a steady ride. I've been doing a huge amount of training recently, so I thought I'd bring you guys along, and hopefully you'll stay tuned because I'd like to speak to you along the way. So every time I stop, I'm gonna have a little chat with you guys, so hopefully you'll come along with me. It's not just the riding today, I'm gonna have a chat with you as well. So hope you enjoy it. It's a nice, beautiful sunny day. The temperature's up in the 30s centigrade here now, so it's pretty hot. So I'm getting out before it gets too hot. But today's not supposed to be so hot, so hopefully it'll be okay. Right, guys, I'm going to stop off and speak to you in anywhere that's nice and scenic as we go along. Speak to you all very soon. Bye for now. Hello again, guys and girls. We're down here at the next bridge over the Rio Grande. When I spoke to you just now, we were at the bridge close to my house, where we go over the bridge to get to my house. And this is the first bridge over the Rio Grande, not far from my house, about 5 kilometers to here. So just on my way out, I'm going to go up and go up where we see those 2 palm trees there, up behind there, up in the plains. So I'm going to go up across the plains this morning, and it's really quite nice up there. My training plan for today is not to go too hard and not to do any major climbing. I'm supposed to be working at about 75% of my maximum, so that's what I'm aiming to do, and I wanted to bring you guys along because it's such a lovely day. And I haven't been on YouTube a great deal. There's been a lot going on, busy start to the year, and also Lisa, my wife, she hasn't been so well this year. We've had a few issues which we've had to deal with, but we're on the other side of those now. We had our last appointments this week just gone at the hospital for both the issues she's had, and we're on the other side of those now, so she's having a little bit of treatment, and we've also had to change our diet a little bit, which not a great deal because we had a healthy diet anyway, but we've had to make some changes for her, so we've also been accommodating that. So I'm going to update you as we go along today and let you know what's been going on this year. So hope everyone's doing well, and you're all having a good start to your year. I'm sure you're all in the throes of spring now, out of winter. So I'll speak to you a bit later on, guys, when we get to the next nice place. Bye for now. So guys, we're up above the plains, and as you just saw, it's really lovely morning. There's a really good breeze blowing this morning, which is really nice. Even if it's in your face, it's really cooling, so it feels really good. I've got a lovely view from here, standing by this rock. I'm looking up towards the mountains. I don't know if you will pick it up on this camera, but we've looked before, and you've been up with me. Halfway up that mountain is a trail. You can see the line of the trail going across the old Roman road, and that's where I've taken you guys up before. Spectacular views from up there. So we've been up there before on the bikes, not going up there today. We're heading over in this direction, over here, behind the olive tree here, to Aladena, Big T's favourite village. So we're on our way over there. Anyway, first thing I will speak to you about, lots to tell you, but first thing is about Lisa. Very long story short, we cut some trees down in the garden, some good sized pine trees, and in doing so I bucked the trees up and got all the small branches off, and Lisa was dealing with burning the small bits and pieces, and she had a couple of fires going quite, you know, you guys will know, you know, as you get pine going, it goes quite violently, and the fires were really burning pretty well and hot, and at the time we didn't know, but she got too close a couple of times and singed her hair, and we just laughed about that. But actually she had burnt herself. She'd actually burnt her face and damaged her skin. It wasn't so visible actually on the surface, but underneath she damaged the layers underneath. Anyway, what happened was she started to feel very ill, and we couldn't really get to the bottom of what it was. And again, long story short, numerous hospital appointments and different things. Her GP thought that she had picked up a saliva infection, which is very, you know, very unusual, almost unheard of. But he was on the right track. Anyway, what we found out has happened is that when she burnt her face subdermally, it damaged the layer underneath, and it damaged her lymph nodes, which are, you've got two here, and you've got two up here, and it damaged those, and those became infected, and the infection from those spread right through her body, so she basically got sort of septicemia. So she was trying to treat the saliva issue through treatment, but it actually was these lymph nodes had become infected, so it was infecting her lymphatic system. So we got to the bottom of that, and she went to see the specialist last week on Monday, and he diagnosed all of this and said, look, this is what's happened. You've infected these have become infected. It's gone through your system, and the problem is this. And what your body does is, to try and protect itself, it builds up like a fibrous layer over the top of these lymph nodes, and she could feel these hard lumps under her skin and couldn't work out why she got these hard lumps. And in fact, at one point they were visible. You know, you could actually see the swollen lymph nodes and this fibrous layer. So he gave her some antibiotics, some steroids, not antibiotics, some steroids on Monday, and she's been taking those steroids. And what these steroids do specifically is they break up this fibrous tissue that's built up over there, and that's already started to happen. She said she can really feel that those lumps are going down, and it all feels much better. So that was that. But you know, very much true that the statement, every cloud has a silver lining. In having all of the tests and the blood tests and everything that she had to have to try and find out what was wrong with her, we have found that she has very high cholesterol. Now that doesn't make any sense at all with the diet we have, because we have a very low fat healthy diet with me, with the bike and everything else. We don't eat a huge amount of meat, although we do eat meat. We don't eat a huge amount of fish, but we do eat fish. We eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruit. A lot of buy very local, natural products. We live on a fruit farm. We've got natural orange juice coming out of our ears. Anyway, it turns out that it's genetic, and it's come from her mum, because her brother also discovered this situation about a year ago. He had very high cholesterol, not really any reason for it. So anyway, we've had to embark on a discovery of the best thing to do diet wise to get this cholesterol down. We have now gone on a well, we haven't changed a huge amount, but we've taken certain things out of our diet and replaced them with other things, which has actually worked really well, and really enjoying it. Like going from ice cream, normal ice cream, dairy ice cream, to having soya ice cream. I actually prefer it. I think it tastes great, and that's got no fat in it whatsoever, and a lot of protein. So we've changed a few things in our diet, and we're eating some things that we weren't eating before, cut some things out, added some things in. But anyway, long term, what a great thing that happened, that we found that out, because of course she would have deteriorated, not knowing. She had no idea she had high cholesterol. So I do advise you, if you can, certainly here in Spain, it's very easy. You go to your local pharmacy and they do a cholesterol test, just a simple test to tell you how high your cholesterol is. I think it's really worth doing it, because if we hadn't had this issue with the infection, then we never would have found out about the high cholesterol. So we've been dealing with those two things anyway, and it's taken up quite a bit of time, because for a while we couldn't find out what was wrong with her, and she seemed to be deteriorating and felt quite unwell, with this septicemia. And it can be it can be life-threatening if you let it continue. It starts shutting your organs down. So it was a bit of a worry, but anyway, we're on the other side of that now. And last week we had the 2 appointments with 2 specialists, and everything is fine. So she's feeling much better. She had a week off last week, and we had these appointments and different things to do. So that's that. So anyway, that's the little story about that. As you know, I did a big race recently, a 6-day race, the Andalusia bike race, which is like a world ranked event. So next time we stop, I'll tell you a little bit about that. And quite a few of you followed along. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film it for you, because events that are managed by the UCI, which is the cycling union that controls world cycling, you're not allowed to film. You're not allowed to film during the event. They have lots of rules and regulations, actually, and one of them is that you're not allowed to film. So I did start to film for you, and I got caught and had to stop. So I had to take the camera off the bike, unfortunately. So I'm sorry I couldn't film for you. I took some photos, and the official photos that they took were great from the event, and I posted a lot of those on Facebook and Instagram. So those of you that follow me on Facebook and Instagram will have seen a lot of those, but I'll throw a few up in a little bit of a collage for you guys in this video, so that those of you that haven't seen anything, you'll see me in different clothing, because obviously in different days I wore different clothing. So it was 6 days, and yeah, it was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It was very, very hard, and deliberately so. It's a race that's set out by 2 ex-Olympic mountain bike racers, and they set it out deliberately to make it very difficult. So it was very hard, but very good. Really enjoyed it, and the bike was fantastic, went very well. I broke the back wheel, but was able to continue because of the way I look after my bike. It held up for me, so I'll tell you about that as well. But anyway, that's for the next stop. So we're going to ride along towards Aladena, and the next nice area where there's some views and some shade, because I always stop in shade, I'll stop and talk to you guys further. So hope you enjoy coming along today. I'll throw some photos in at some point for the Andalusia bike race, And I'll also throw some photos in of these trees we cut down, Lisa and I. Show you those as well. That was quite a nice little job we did at home. Alright guys, speak to you all soon. Bye for now. So guys, I did the Andalusia bike race. It's a 6-day race. It was in a place called Linares, which is northeast of here, which is in the province of Jaén, so over from us. And then we came over into Cordoba, into the province of Cordoba. So we had 3 stages in Jaén and 3 stages in Cordoba. And the first day was a time trial, so you had a route and you had to do that as fast as you could, setting off at 30-second intervals, and that set your place for the rest of the race. So that put you in, because there were 868 riders, so a lot of riders, so that put you in the order that you should be in by the time you set. And then you went into an appropriate box every day, depending on whether you were improving or getting worse. I just stayed pretty consistent all the way. I stayed pretty consistent all the way through. So I stayed in the same box. So in my case, that was obviously pretty accurate. That time trial time was pretty accurate. And each day was a different course, very difficult, because, as I said, these 2 Olympic guys had set it out, so you know that each day was designed to break you. It was really difficult, and you know, most of the races I do around here are you know, quite long, and you do a lot of climbing, but it's very constant. It's very steady climb up to the top of the mountain, then you drop down, then you climb up, but that was all very, very steep climbs, with roots and rocks, and it's just designed to exhaust you. So yeah, it was very difficult, and I was very pleased to finish each day, and on the final day get my finisher's medal. So yeah, I felt it was quite an achievement for me, and enjoyed it, and made some more friends. Always nice to ride with different people and meet different people from different parts of the world and different parts of Spain. So that was really enjoyable. So yeah, the bike was excellent. The only thing I did was I broke the back wheel. The bike had carbon fibre wheels on for lightness and stiffness. They're great, but if you catch them wrong, they just break. Where aluminium rims will bend, they just break. So I actually broke the back wheel. So I've got two new wheels on here. These are aluminium rim wheels, really nice wheels actually. And the wheel that I broke has gone off to Seville to be repaired, and that will be back next week. So I'll have a spare pair of wheels, carbon wheels, and these aluminium wheels. These aluminium wheels are a lot more forgiving. They have a lot more flexibility in them, so they actually feel a lot more comfortable when you're riding on them. They have a lot more give. They might not be ultimately as efficient, because you lose some of the stiffness and you lose some of the power. But of course, on long races, sometimes the comfort outweighs the efficiency. And so yeah, the bike's going really well, and I started it just before the Andalusia bike race, literally just before, and set it all out to continue after the Andalusia bike race. I'm on a very intensive training program, which is short sessions every day. So I do a short training session, usually an hour. It might be an hour, might be an hour and a half every day. Very intense training. And this is actually the first ride. I did a race 2 weeks ago, which was 105 kilometers, and some of you guys saw the video from that. It's called the Indomable. That had nearly 3,000 meters of climbing and 105 kilometers. That was a good race, but I just took it fairly steady in that, because I was really only just getting going in the training program. So today is the first ride out I've had since I've been on this training program intensively, and I can't tell you how different I feel. It's incredible. You wouldn't believe what 4 weeks work could do, but just incredible. Some changes that have been made. A lot of the exercises are to do with the efficiency of your muscles and the efficiency of your legs, making your legs work properly. So making sure all of your muscles fire in the right order when you're trying to use them, that nothing is fighting against, so that one muscle isn't fighting against another muscle. So you do a lot of exercises like that at the beginning to make sure that your muscles are firing in the right way. And then you do a lot of work also on your pedal stroke, the efficiency of your pedal stroke, and you do a lot of exercises for that, and I'm still doing them. As well as the power training and everything else. So yeah, it's an incredible program, and with the program is also yoga and strength training, which is specific strength training for the bike. So within this program, set out day by day, I have training on the bike, training with yoga, and training with strength. So yeah, it's making a huge difference, enormous difference. And today I'm really feeling the difference. I'm only supposed to be riding at my maximum, which is what they call the FTP, my maximum power, or 110% of my power. So just above for going up climbs. But I'm finding I'm riding way above that nearly all the time. I feel so strong. So yeah, it's making a massive difference. So the next big race I'm doing, and I'll do a separate video about it, is a race called the RVP. I'm doing that with a friend of mine called David, who's from the Canary Islands, and and that is a really long race. It's racing from Gijón in the north of Spain to Sevilla. It's 915 kilometers, and it's a race where you start on the Wednesday, and you have 100 hours maximum to do the distance, so you do it as fast as you can. So we'll be riding day and night, and we're aiming to do it in about between 40 and 45 hours. So we're going to try and literally just ride pretty much solid for 2 days, day and night, and try and do it in 40-45 hours. So that's really what I'm getting ready for now. That's what I'm training for. So that's in June, the beginning of June. I've got this spot tracker now, which is actually the first day I've been out with it, using it, and I will give you guys the ability to follow this if you want to. So when we're in the race, you'll be able to follow us live or with this, using this spot tracker, which is a satellite tracker, and you'll be able to see us day and night making our way from Gijón to Sevilla if you want to. So you know, let me know in the comments of this video if you're interested in being able to do that, and we'll set it up so that you guys can do it and you can follow it. So it might be interesting. Okay guys, there's lots more to tell you, but I'll probably do another video. I don't want to make this one too long, and I'll do another video on the other things that are happening at the farm and everything else, and try and catch everything up with you guys. Hope everyone's well, all moving into spring now and getting on with everything you need to get on with.